Hello, welcome back, Tech Zone. Paul Amadeus Lane, our third and final segment of the show. I've been teasing this interview all show long, and I know you're not going to be disappointed out there. Let's say that you have some dexterity problems, like I do. Maybe it's arthritis, maybe it's due to a disability, and it's hard to dress yourself. Maybe like you used to, or you may have always had a problem dress yourself. And when it comes to putting on shoes, seems like a very easy task. But for some like myself and others out there, it's pretty difficult to do. Wouldn't it be nice to have a piece of innovation that can help us to do just so? Does the technology exist? What do you think? Well, it does. And I have a great friend that's joining me to talk about this piece of innovation and how it will make your life easier. Not only that, but there could be some health benefits as well. And joining me right now is the VP of Sales for Zero Tie, Forrest Brown. Forrest, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
Good. How you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Great to talk with you again. I mentioned to the audience how we met each other before when my other hat that I wear with the Abilities Expo, and I just told everyone just how incredibly blown away I was by this piece of innovation right here. And I tried to tell the story for us, but you know, with me, I'm not a great storyteller. I used to be a good rapper, but not a good storyteller. But why don't you let our listeners know again, how'd you guys come up with this great piece of innovation?
So the inventor, Greg Johnson from Minnesota, his mother had problems. She had arthritis, and she had problems putting on her shoes and tying them. And so she got to the point where she was just wearing clogs, which have no support. And he knew there had to be a better way. And so he invented a technology which allowed her to put her foot in and pull it back and tighten the shoes. And we've just recently brought this to market, and it's going very well.
And I tell you, when we talked earlier and found out that this was even out here, I was like, where has this been all my life? And also when it comes to startups, we noticed that a lot of techpreneurs out there, entrepreneurs, it's always a need that they personally have dealt with to come up with these amazing products. And for us, how do we get the consumer out there to really love the product as much as we do, especially when you have a startup company?
So, we've done a lot of consumer-based events over the course of the last 5 months, whether it be Abilities Expos, whether it be Texas State Fair, a Michigan County Fair, and lots of beer, bourbon, barbecue in Virginia, lots of different things. And what we found is, I've been in the shoe business a long time, and, these days comfort's expected. We do have a shoe that has an amazingly unique technology, but at the same time, the quality of the shoe is there. We found that when someone puts their foot in these shoes, we're getting 8, 9 out of 10 people that are buying the shoes because they're feeling that comfort, but not necessarily comfort, because today, comfort is perceived sometimes as just immediate gratification in the terms of memory foam, which isn't necessarily good for your feet, doesn't give you support. The shoes that we're making give you excellent arch support. They're a little bit firmer, yet comfortable, and the firmness is coming in the arch, in the heels, and even in the forefoot. You still have the flexibility, but you're getting the support and the comfort you need throughout the entire foot.
And what I love about it too is the term that you all use over at Zero Tie, hands-free. That's pretty cool.
It is. It's the only ones. There is a very well-known brand named to be guessed, and they came out with the Back to the Future 2 shoe, and those are not hands-free. great, very, very cool shoe. Plays back to a lot of our memories as kids, watching the movie and seeing this shoe that seemed far beyond anything that could ever be reality. And what these shoes really are, Zero Tie are truly hands-free lacing shoes, where, the importance of the lacing is it actually draws your foot in and creates the more support. So your foot is not moving around where it will in a slip-on or where it will with an elasticated added on lace onto an existing shoe.
And that's where I'm really blown away at when it comes to technology. Who would have thought 25 years ago when I was injured and became a quadriplegic that we would see things like this? Because I know ones who are paraplegics, ones with arthritis, like you talked about earlier, or even just ones who may not have any form of disability or anything, just want to get dressed as quick as they can. This
Right.
really saves them some time. And what were some of the challenges maybe to getting this shoe to the market when it comes to the technology? Because it really seems like that you guys dotted the I's and crossed all the T's. Talk about just the challenge of getting to where it is today.
Really the challenge was just execution in terms of, like bringing anything else to market. Really conveying the message that these are hands-free lacing shoes, and how do you do it? I sort of joke around sometimes that even a mime could explain this. It's really as simple as, the only time you touch the shoes is when you take them out of the box, or if you happen to be packing them because you're wearing another shoe. Although we found that once people get these on their feet, they don't really want to wear anything else. But if you happen to be wearing something else and you're packing them in your suitcase, you may handle them at that point as well. But really, it's as simple as, you have the shoe on the ground, you're able to put your foot in, whether you're standing up, sitting down, tilt your foot back at about a 30-degree angle, and right there the wheel engages. You pull it back and you hear the roto, very similar to like what a ratchet sounds like when you're tightening it, and it tightens the laces. It's really that simple. So in terms of conveying that in the sense where you don't have the words to do it because it's sitting on a shelf and someone doesn't know exactly what it does without someone explaining it, I think that's a challenge, but it's something we're overcoming. And, once everyone understands what Zero Tie is, that challenge will be gone.
And it means specifically what it says, Zero Tie. Well, what's been some of the feedback that the company received from ones who tried the shoe for the first time or who have been using the shoe? What's been some of that feedback that you guys have gotten?
In terms of a lot of fit trials, not even fit trials, but just, putting them on some kids' feet. We've had some kids that, literally don't want to take them off. In terms of adults, we've had adults verbatim say these shoes have changed their lives in regards to helping them for the exact sense of being able to not have to bend down and tie the shoe. Maybe a back, maybe, lack of use of hands, sometimes Parkinson's. We've also had people that have said in terms of plantar fasciitis, which is in the heel, that they've had plantar fasciitis for years. They've worn these shoes now for a week and they're absolutely gone. We had some woman that was walking with a cane. I mean, these sound like evangelical type situations, but, woman walking with a cane, and she's been wearing Zero Tie, and she no longer is walking with a cane because of the support, because of it actually having her spine upright and straight without creating, the offset of walking a certain way to counterbalance, the shoes she's wearing.
Wow. I mean, it really just a testament to the fact that how you guys have went the extra mile in creating a Zero Tie and not even knowing the other benefits that are coming from that. And that really has to just warm the heart of the of the founder and the creator, and you too as VP in sales. You hear stories like that. It helps you to see like, hey, I'm on the right track here.
Yeah, it's great. I'm not changing lives. I'm not doing heart surgery or anything. But it is great to know that we have a technology that's helping people. And I explained when we last spoke, just that we have a shoe that represents needs and wants. And the want part is, speaking to exactly what your show's about, it's Tech Zone. I mean, these are shoes that are technology without utilizing what we know today as technology as far as like a computer. There's no app. There's nothing involving a computer in terms of the execution of putting them on or off. And that's really cool because it's sort of like people today, they want to go after cars, thinking back, cars or boats. You run into these electrical problems and the whole thing is shot. Here, there's no computer running the shoe. It's literally the lacing, it's the roto, the ball bearings on the inside. And, it's really how we put it together and did all the testing to make sure that we were on track.
And Forrest, you kind of touched on a little bit earlier about your background in the shoe industry, formerly of Rockport, and when you see the evolution of the shoe out there, we know when it comes to like in the medical realm, we know we have orthopedic shoes, we have other shoes out there that help out ones who have some type of a physical challenge or some impairments. But when it comes to zero tie, do you think it's really going to revolutionize the way that we see shoes today, that others will get on board and be like, hey, we want some of that over there what Zero Tie is doing?
Yeah, I think that you totally hit on the word. It's revolutionize. And, the possibilities are endless in terms of what we can do. We're getting into golf shoes that are coming out this spring. Everything's really become hands-free. Cell phones, vacuum cleaners. You watch these little Roombas go around people's houses. Here's cars. You think back and there was total recall and there were hands-free cars. And, we're not very far away from that with Tesla on board. And so, why not shoes? It's one of those things that, the amount of germs that are on the bottom of shoes or within shoes, there's no reason to touch them. So really, I think that the technology is right in tune with everything else that we're, experiencing out there in the community.
And at Forrest, throughout our interview, we've been showing some video clips of this technology in action, and it really just shows the convenience behind it. Now, when it comes to the shoe, some people out there, they want to coordinate. Well, what kind of colors and designs can they get right now?
So right now, we have the basics and the blacks and the whites. In women's, we have some lavenders and some grays and blues. And we're going to continue to evolve. As we head into spring, we're doing fly knits with multiple colors and, rich tan colors in men's and, on the kids, brighter colors because that's what, they're all loving. And so, really the feedback that comes from the Zero Tie community will continue to, take us where we're going to be. We love the feedback. We want to hear anything and everything. And, that's where we want to take it, where everyone wants the product to be. We're here to listen.
And, looking at some of the colors and designs, the blue, the navy blue and the gray and charcoal, man, those are just, whoa, those are pretty sweet. I can wear them in the club and still be trendy. You guys thought of everything.
Yeah. We're going to continue to evolve that. We'll always have the basics, but at the same time, we're going to continue to, in spring, we do have a fly knit men's. It's a bright red with, a black bottom. We have a royal blue with a black bottom. Just really, speaking to what's happening now, while at the same time keeping it core for the everyday individual.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you got to mention too about the golf world now, and you shared your experience with that. How does that make you feel that the original goal was to help ones, give them independence when it comes to zero tie? Now it's morphing into golfers. Maybe if breakdancing come back for us, the breakdancers are definitely going to be all on this right here. But how does that make you feel? Just to see how it's morphing into something bigger, maybe than what ones might have expected.
Well, I mean, that's really exciting. When you take something that is unique, your mind tends to race and think all the different options that you can use it for. Breakdancing, that'd be fantastic. It goes right back to the 80s when I experienced the heart of it, and it'd be very, very cool, seeing the young kids taking it to another level and utilizing it as part of their routine, stepping in and out of them, not just kicking them off. And, and another thing is that, we haven't really touched on is the fact is a lot of people, when you speak to them, they're like, oh, well, I'm able to take my shoes on and off without that anyway. Well, the reality is what they're doing is they're leaving their laces not tied very well, which is giving them lack of support. And they just push the shoe off with their heel, and then they step into it. And what they're doing at that point is they're crushing the heel. And by crushing that heel, they're really taking the support out as well. So where the laces are giving them the support they need in their everyday, by crushing the back heel counter, that's taking it away as well. So all these little things are definitely things that zero tie changes the game, and it really, helps people in terms of showing how you should wear shoes.
I'm so glad that you reiterated that for us about proper support in shoes. And I think we've become lazy not to know the damage that can happen to us if our shoes are not on tight. Not just talking about our shoelaces are untied and somebody steps on our shoelace and we fall, but talking about just the support that shoes are supposed to give when we're walking. I'm so glad that you touched on that, because I think that's something we kind of gloss over sometimes.
Yeah, really there's nothing you wear on your body that affects your body, your spine, your back, your lower back, other than your shoes. There's literally nothing. You could be sitting there wearing a $5,000 suit, and if you don't have the right shoes on, whether they look good or not, you're not going to be feeling good at the end of the day. So, it's extremely important that you wear the right shoes and have the right support in terms of, your overall body and your feel.
Well said, my friend. Well said. Is there anything else that we failed to mention during our interview to really make sure that the listener, the viewer, are getting all the accurate information out there?
No, nothing else other than, I would just ask, you try them on. We're very flexible. If someone orders a pair and it doesn't work for them for whatever reason it may be, we have no problem taking them back and exchanging them for a size, or, maybe it just wasn't right for them. But, I suggest really just you get a pair on. The experience we've had, as I mentioned, is, we're finding 9 out of 10, 8.5 to 9 out of 10 people of all the people we've had try these on over the course of the last 5 months have really, really enjoyed them, whether it be for aiding them or just they really dig the technology.
Well said, Forrest. So how can people get their hands on these shoes?
Just go to www.zerotie.com, and I'd be happy to offer a special code to all your listeners and viewers at 20% off. It will be ZT Tech Zone 2017, and that'll get you 20% off a pair of zero ties. And that code will be valid through December 31st at 11:59 p.m.
Nice. Wow. You see, folks, you listen to the Tech Zone, you watch the Tech Zone. You get some pretty cool stuff at a discount. Thanks so much, Forrest. And Forrest, again, give that website out one more time so everybody can know how to get there.
www.zerotie.com. ZEROTIE.
Awesome. And you guys can also go to my page, paulamadeouslane.com. Scroll down to the bottom, Innovation Spotlight. You'll see a link there to support Forrest, support a great cause. Forrest, it's been awesome talking to you, my friend. And do me a huge favor. Tell the founder we thank him for creating something that makes our community life better, but also not only our community, but other communities out there as well, too.
I most certainly will. Thanks, Paul.
Hey, a huge shout out to my friend Forrest Brown, VP of Sales of Zerotie. I told you. Didn't I tell you? You're going to be blown away by that. I'm still blown away. Had an opportunity to interview Forrest, like I talked about in the beginning of the show, on another show that I do for the Abilities Expo called Abilities Live. And it was a tremendous success. I wanted to bring it on the Tech Zone so that you can see some of this great innovation that's out there. See, sometimes when we think of technology, we think of the phones, the apps, and everything, but this is a piece of technology out there that's really going to revolutionize the way that we put on our shoes. And what did I say last week when I was on with my pal Jeff Joseph from the Consumer Technology Association? I said I get giddy as a schoolboy when I see technology out there that helps improves our life. Well, you ready for an 80s pun before I leave the show and sign off? Not leave the show for good, but leave the show because I'm out of time and I got to go. Don't forget, connect with me, paulamadeouslane.com. When you go to my website, too, don't forget, check out the Innovation Spotlight. You'll see the Zerotie shoes there. Don't forget that promo code, ZT Tech Zone 2017. That's good until December 31st, I believe. If not, if you use it by then, it's not my fault. It's Sean's fault. I'm just joking, Sean. Love you, guy. Hey, I'm going to make it like a tree and get out of here in the words of Biff Tannen. My 80s pun. You know, next week I'll have a new one, I promise. But until next time, take care, folks. Talk to you next time.